Space has been the final resting place of too many men too soon. My job is to ensure that this won't be your fate. You have been selected from the best minds we have. You will take charge of one of the most advanced spacecraft ever assembled. As part of an elite fleet, you will achieve your objectives. Strategy is the key to any successful engagement. First, know your enemy. If you specialize as a light or medium attack, assess your opponent's strengths, weaknesses, and threat level. Commanders of heavy cruisers should move into position to lay siege to hostiles while overcoming firepower. Those of you who pilot support craft must perform the vital role of repairing and augmenting allied ships in the thick of battle. From the front lines, call out threats to the team's long-range attack vessels. They will keep the heavies at bay, so you can continue to push forward. To overpower the enemy, you must outthink them. And the enemy exists in every known sector. Each battle will take you closer to your goal. You have everything you need at your disposal. Now, go make it happen.
Good evening and welcome to WK11 News. This is Pam Sinclair coming at you live with a high-speed pursuit of armed and dangerous renegades.
Dark Future is a Games Workshop game that originally came out probably about 20 years ago. It's a car battling game where there are vehicles smashing into each other, unloading machine guns to each other, firing missiles at each other, and yet it's all happening simultaneously but turn-based.
Science fiction is based on the extrapolation of scientific principles, whether that might be physics, whether that might be how a warp drive engine works.
Though of course we do let our imaginations go a bit wild with this, we want to make sure there is sound science behind the ideas that develop in the game.
So when they originally created Dark Future back in the late 80s, climate change was a relatively new, almost science fiction-y idea. And then in discussions with one of the scientists today, we talked about, hey, what could the effects of climate change maybe be? And she actually made a really good point. Well, they already are.
I think climate change might have a big impact. I think sort of some of the genetic manipulation, but I think the real potential threat is through new infectious diseases arising.
We are using viruses at the moment as delivery mechanisms for gene therapies, which is really exciting for dealing with some really debilitating conditions. Yet that same technology can be used in laboratories to manufacture terrible bioweapons that could destroy entire races.
One of the areas that I'm interested in is synthetic biology. Until now, we have not been able to control the DNA that's passed on from one person to another, but we are now developing methods that would be able to change the DNA that's present.
Something that stems from a newspaper article or something in a scientific magazine, all of these things are a fodder for storytelling. There's a nihilistic element in all of us, I think, and kind of, that idea about some people liking to watch the world burn. And I think in science fiction, that gives us the opportunity to play with ideals of a negative future and to examine those without actually having to live through it.
We can't regulate or control everybody, so is there a fear that there is a rogue scientist out there somewhere that's taking it down the more dark routes?
We could end up in some kind of crazy post-apocalyptic world, which would be a lot of fun for a week or so, and then it would be kind of horrible.
What I liked about Dark Future is we all have this sense that the future could be much bleaker than it is now, that things maybe are falling apart, and Dark Future really capitalises on that and grabs it and and runs with it, drives with it.
The Dark Future IP has a lot of really interesting themes in it. There's cool kind of 80s cyberpunk stuff in there. There's some interesting weird ideas about parallel universes, some almost supernatural elements as well. And I think all of that combines to make it a very unique, very interesting arena in which to tell stories.
That tension of what could be and what we hope will never be is where the Dark Future lives.
Humans. Many years ago they killed each other, thus eliminating their entire race, leaving behind only machines, works of art, and empty buildings. I saw humans only in photographs, but I constantly find artifacts and ancient sources of information that have survived until now, and that helps me to learn more about humans' thought processes, their culture, and way of life.
There have been many wars. Humans are completely irrational.
Unlike humans, we robots think logically and act rationally. Therefore, we will never destroy ourselves. Our civilization is based on constant interaction. In order to maintain my good physical form, I create various gadgets that I can exchange for materials from other robots.
2 weeks ago, the police almost destroyed me for discovering some messages on the internet. They broke in without warning and opened fire.
Despite the ban imposed by USS Corporation, our manufacturer, I think we must study the human race because this knowledge might be useful in the future. I already know much more about humans than other robots, but there is still a lot to learn about them and the world. I must find the answer to the main question. Why have humans destroyed their entire race?